You will download the file for this week's assignment from the file folder on the left side of the Canvas interface. It's called the Maze assignment. It's a big assignment, but you're going to learn a lot. So spend some time with this. Don't do it all at one sitting. Watch the video and see what I'm doing, because I'm going to introduce a method of animating as well as some buttons. You might want to watch this a few times. This is the assignment. I'm going to take you through creating the first 5 seconds of this assignment, and that will be enough tutelage wherein you will understand how to create the last 5 seconds of the assignment. Therefore, I will animate frames 1 through 120, and then you will animate by yourself frames 120 to 240. So I will lead you through how to do 1 through 120, and you'll do those keyframes, and you'll continue to 240. So you will finish with 10 seconds of animation. 24 frames per second times 10 seconds is 240 frames. Therefore, 120 frames divided by 24 is 5 seconds. So I will demonstrate the first 5 seconds of this animation, and then you will demonstrate your proficiency by making the next 5 seconds without my instruction. So watch this the first time to learn what I do, then play and pause this animation to follow along with what I do, then do it by yourself. So let's select the ball, and now you can see, if I do view frame all, my curves. In this assignment, I only want you to submit 2 curves to me. You're going to have to delete everything else, and I'll show you how to do this. Because I only animated the first 5 seconds, there are no keyframes on the second 5 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this animation. The way I do that is by selecting everything and deleting it. You won't have to do this. I'm going to give you a blank file. So, like I showed you prior, I have 240 keyframes available to me, but I limited my workspace to 120 frames. See that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first keyframe, take my select tool, then my move tool. I'm going to move the ball to the first keyframe. I'm going to press S. Then I'm going to go to last keyframe 120, which is 5 seconds later. I'm going to press S. Look at that. It gave me all these curves in my curve editor. If I press play at this time, it'll just go between those 2 keyframes. I need to now pick my secondary keyframes, my secondary key poses, and they're going to be every time there's a turn. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns. I have 120 frames within which to do those 7 turns. So I can put 7 into 120, and that's about every 12, 14 frames. I can afford to do a turn, and that'll give me pretty even animation all throughout. So on frame, and I can be pretty loose, I will go to frame 14, take my ball, and I'll press a keyframe right at the turn, S. Then I'll go to frame 29. Put it at the turn, press S. Then I'll go up here to maybe 40 something. Plot my next turn, press S. I'll go to about 55 for the next one. Press S. Maybe here for the next one. Press S. Maybe here for the next one. Press S. Maybe I'll give this next one more time. Pull it over here. Press S. And then I'm going to go there. Okay, so now I have rough approximations for where it's moving through the maze. Pretty easy, right? But this does not get us the paycheck. We don't want the ball to run into any of those walls. So we have to do a little more editing. We're going to go around to where that keyframe is and look to the frame beforehand and pull it over a little bit to make sure it doesn't run into a wall, and then set a keyframe. And we'll look and we'll make sure it's not going around a wall. And we'll scrub a little bit. There you go. Now on the other side, somehow I get two keyframes in there. So, okay, we'll correct that in a second. And it goes around the wall. Ooh, it kind of hits there. So I'm going to pull it away a bit. Set a keyframe. Go here. Ooh, it looks like it's hitting the wall there. So I'm going to pull over a bit. Set a keyframe. Over on this side. It clears it, but I'm still going to pull it away a little bit. Set a keyframe. Ooh, it starts to hit a little bit here, so I'm going to pull it away a bit. Make sure it gets all the way around. Oh, pull it away a little bit more here. You see what I'm doing? I'm pulling it away and setting a keyframe. Jumps a little there. Now, I have two keyframes on top of each other. I want to get rid of one of them. The easy way is to right mouse click when you're in the timeline. Make sure the mouse is there, right mouse click, and go delete. Get rid of that extra keyframe. See that? And do that for the rest of this animation. I'm going to correct things, and I'll make a keyframe to correct it. Pull it away from the wall when it touches. Pull it in. And watch what's happening down in my animation graph editor. Look how I press S every time I set a keyframe. Look how my curves change. Pull it away when it hits, right? And what I'm doing when I'm adding these extra keyframes, I'm actually modeling my curves. There you go. Okay, so now when I play this, look at that. It does not touch any of the walls. Cool, and it takes just 5 seconds. Okay, brilliant. Now we're going to clean this up. I'll stop the video here and pick up in the next video.